Nightster content. RJ's Custom Cycles.
I mean, this is the reach. It's gonna be set up for doing miles. Got some parts over here.
Vertical gripper pegs on for what height risers. Gonna be running the vertical riser. American Suspension Racing. Dyno with cheater trees.
Pretty excited. We're gonna see some things happen here.
Shifter one on.
iPhone did.
Vertical cycle gas cap.
I'm so excited. Blessed.
What's up, CROOKS MOTO crew?
What up?
Welcome back to the channel today, guys. We are doing something super sick for you. We are RJ's Custom Cycles here in Caldwell, Idaho, and we are bringing you some Nightster content. Of a multi-part series, this is gonna be new on the channel. As you guys just saw in the previous video, Josh bought a Nightster.
I did.
Nightster Special 2024, and we are going to throw every damn thing at this bike as humanly possible, and stuff you haven't seen, stuff that's going to be designed for it, and we are bringing in the big boys with this one, man.
Yes, sir. We are partnering with some great brands, a great shop, which we will get into more here in just a little bit.
We're going to be building this bike here at RJ's Custom Cycles. We're going to do something that nobody's doing on this bike. It's going to be sick. We're bringing in vertical cycles. We're bringing in American suspension. We're bringing in some stuff you guys haven't seen on the internet. If you aren't subscribed, subscribe now. You're about to see what the Nightster can actually be.
We're excited. Are you excited?
I'm stoked.
Yeah, let's get this going.
Let's go. Alright guys, we are here at RJ's Custom Cycles. We got the Nightster, and we're gonna start basically tearing into this thing. Taking some parts off. We're gonna be doing some measuring. We're gonna be getting some details, because a lot of the parts don't exist yet for this bike.
This is my bike, so we got to measure some things to my weird arms, my weird legs, and get everything kind of fitted. Brainstorming ideas, colors,
Bars, risers,
all that stuff. Not like a fabrication or a build day, but you may see some parts getting thrown around that won't necessarily go on this. They'll be relative. It's gonna be pretty cool. I'm excited. I mean, you can see it if I sit on it now. This is bone stock. Nothing been done to it. You know, I'm flat-footed on both feet with a bent leg.
And honestly, the bike sits pretty low.
It does.
I would say it's pretty low in terms of stock sitting.
Yep, and I don't know about, that's not going down too much. That doesn't seem like it's sagging out too bad.
No, that looks fine.
But yeah, so I mean, this is the reach. You can see I'm kind of just a little bit forward. And this is their intended seating position with this.
Well, because it's not a touring bike. It's not really long distance, long haul. It's a city ripper, 6-speed, lots of power, real fun.
But as you know, we ride. We do miles. This thing is gonna do miles. So it's gonna be set. This thing's gonna be set up for doing miles. It's not a stunt bike. I don't do wheelies. Love the style, love the content. It's just not what I do. I need to be able to ride this thing to different events, meet you guys, do all of that.
Can the Nightster be a touring bike? Can it? That's the question.
Can we set this thing up to where, just like your old Dyno Wide Glide, just like I have my bike set up, bagger, touring, all this stuff, can we make this bike something sick that you haven't seen before?
It's not on the internet right now. Probably answers a lot of questions for people out there, because majority of people aren't building stunt bikes. The stunters are, sure,
yeah,
but majority of you guys just want a sick bike that you can go on trips on and ride around town and do all the normal bike stuff.
So this thing's gonna be above and beyond. It's gonna be absolutely amazing. Not a part's gonna go untouched. Have all the bells and whistles. We're not trying to build a bagger here. That's not what we mean by touring. It's just gonna be capable for me to be able to put a little gear on it, me to block a little wind, and me to be able to be comfortable when I ride long distances. And that's like, when we say touring, that's what we mean.
Yeah.
Don't mean like, we're not trying to turn it into a freaking road glide.
Something that looks sick.
It's gonna look super sick.
Looks sick, has high quality, high performant parts on it, and just custom.
But yeah, the stock bike, man, it's cool. It's a great bike, but we're gonna switch it up. So we got some parts over here laid out on this table that are gonna be not necessarily going on this bike, but they are versions of what's gonna go on this bike. So we're coming up with, we're brainstorming. That's basically what it is. You want to run us by what we got sitting on the table?
What's going on, guys? Yeah, so we're first and foremost thinking about, we're going to be measuring Josh up for what height risers and upper bars he wants to run. We do have the 7/8 issue to overcome, so we will have to figure out something. Fernando at Vertical Cycles is going to be making us the risers that he's running on Brennan Baptista's bike. Fit the OEM upper bar, whether we use OEM or not, to be determined. We're going to be throwing some of the BMX vertical gripper pegs on. We're going to be doing some front lighting, head and toe on this thing. Front lighting will very much depend on this touring Saddlemen Mini FXRT fairing that we are going to be running.
Yes, sir.
Still think tanking on what kind of rear luggage we'll run. Maybe something hard, maybe something soft.
Yeah, what do you guys think? What do you think? Hard, soft? How would you like it?
You guys, the ideas are endless. We want this to be a very interactive, help us also build this Nightster. So if you guys have suggestions,
The opportunities are endless between the
minds. So
Beyond hand and foot controls on this thing, foot controls, we're gonna hopefully be developing some adjustable brake and shift linkages. We do have our foot controls. Up the top, we're gonna be running the vertical riser and the integrated gauge quad. Suspension-wise, on the rear, we're gonna be doing some stilettos, probably in a 14 and a half. We give Josh about an inch and a half lift.
A little more.
Nightster-wise, 15 is the max before you hit the gas tank with the swing arm, so 15 is the max. It's what most guys with Nightsters have been ordering from American Suspension Racing. It gives them the most travel, and with proper sag adjustment, you get plenty of travel out of the shock. Guys are doing sick jumps and all kinds of stuff with them now. We are going to be doing some fun stuff with the front end on this thing. We are going to be converting it from the true 41 that the Nightster is to our 49mm dyno width cheater trees. The Nightster already has some pretty good parking lot geometry as far as drifting, stunting, and performance applications. So the utilization of our D-rake cups, we're gonna play with that. We're gonna install it and we're gonna see how it feels.
Yeah.
Day Idaho City, kind of a ride, see what it feels like, and then potentially be not running the neck cups, letting the bike have its natural geometry and doing a little bit of a shorter neck stem. So we have the utilization of wheelbase positioning with our eccentric neck stem there. You can still move the wheelbase forward and aft without altering the geometry on it there. But we will be putting on some of our Black Mamba 49mm DLC fork tubes. That's gonna use our performance fork spring and preload kit. Give you a 1, 2, 3 inch there. Yeah, and then some radial brakes and all kinds of other goodies coming down the line.
tons of good stuff from Vertical Cycles, American Suspension, RJ's Custom Cycles. It's a big collaborative video, you guys. There's gonna be a lot of new stuff being prototyped for this bike.
There's going to be existing parts that we're going to throw at it, fabricate it, modify it, whatever we got to do to get all of what you're seeing here on this bike, and plenty of stuff that you haven't seen.
And maybe didn't even think could be done for the Nightster.
Hopefully start building a catalog of Nightster knowledge and customization for you guys.
Needless to say, pretty excited.
Should be.
I get this phone call last night. Hey man, let's do some things. And I was just like,
some stuff.
I literally got off the phone and looked over at my wife and went, woo! Let's go to get a bike. And the very day that you roll the brand new bike off the showroom floor and get a call that, let's make some magic happen. That's awesome. That's what this thing is all about. People coming together and helping to open some eyes to different possibilities and highlight some companies that really deserve it. So,
Dude, you guys, SDC mini fairing on a Nightster? I mean, what? It looks like it would fit perfect, dude. Obviously, some modifications have to be done.
like moving this.
Like, like getting off this tiny, useless, looks cool fairing.
Yes, I'm pretty excited, man. It's going to be cool. We haven't really figured out a color scheme or what we're going to do with that. We're kind of it's a generic think tank today about what we got going on, but it's going to be...
I do think we're going to be playing a lot of tones and textures and doing some really new, unique processes of coating, trying to move away from doing some of the anodizing that just doesn't hold up well to the UV stability wise. Powder coat is not good for precision moving components due to the mill thickness. So we're doing some really cool mill spec Cerakotes, working with some companies, Cerakote, Gun Candy, really come up with some really cool stuff.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, let us know if you guys have any ideas of colors, patterns, things that we should check out. Throw it in the mix right now. It's full on think tank. So if you're like, hey Josh, you should make this thing pink, dude, drop it in the comments.
Yeah, man. I mean, what should we do?
Get pink Nightster.
Should we do bright, vibrant? Should we go pastels? Should we maybe go earth tones? Should we go dark? I mean, the options are limitless out there. So, we could really...
So we have this engine, we have side covers, we have struts, we have fender, front fender, all the different brake shifter.
Well, you know what's really cool about the Cerakotes too? Plastic can be Cerakoted.
Yeah, plastic, which is actually a good point. With, I don't know if you guys really know Nightsters or not, but there is a lot of plastic covering that they did because this is liquid cooled, so there is a radiator, there is all kinds of the way they did the frame. The engine is part of the stability of the frame now. This is done differently than your standard Harley that you're used to. So there's going to be a lot of brainstorming, and then we're going to see some things happen here different that aren't what you're used to seeing. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. We'd love for you guys to comment and let us know, like, what do you guys think?
Absolutely. I mean, can we make the Nightster sick? That's really my question.
Absolutely.
Right? Can we make the Nightster sick to where you see this Nightster and you're like, okay, I never thought a Nightster could look that cool. Like, I would, if I saw that in the showroom, I would buy that bike. Rev Max, whatever, I don't care. It looks sick. I could see myself riding it. I could see myself showing up on bike night with that bike. I could take this to Sturgis. I could take this to any show, whatever. Sit around and look at it with my homies and just be super stoked on my bike. Can we make it as sick as all the other Harleys that we've seen out there? Customized, sick, badass, something you want to show off, ride, show your friends, talk about, stare out in the garage in the middle of the night. I think we can do it.
So stoked.
I think we can do it. We're putting a lot of energy and focus into this. This is going to be its own series, own playlist on top of your original typical scheduled programming Crooks Moto thing. So yes, we will be building choppers in between this. Yes, we'll be going on rides, test rides, 2025, all the typical content that you're used to. This is all extra and on top of it. So you're about to kind of get a lot more Crooks Moto content, more than just one drop a week. So as these videos are literally day of, next day, that night, as soon as we have new stuff to update you on this build, it's dropping. It's coming soon. Stay tuned. Follow Vertical Cycles on Instagram, American Suspension Racing. Follow Crooks Moto. Follow RJ's Custom Cycles. Follow it all because content will be spread amongst all of it. And
It's actually really not a bad upper bar. Like the bend and the size of it.
Yeah,
like
it's not bad.
OEM bar's not horrible.
Okay, so this is right at, you're basically at 5" there.
And pullback, non-pullback. We need to figure out, are we doing a pullback riser? Are we doing a straight
This is
riser?
a pullback. I think you need a pullback.
It's definitely gonna be a pullback.
If you're to get the crazy seat, it's gonna sit you forward a little bit, and then maybe not. But
I don't know. The thing about the cruisy seat is it's very stunt oriented, and it's like the back's pretty square, and it's got that like.
oh, I don't think you'll like it for touring.
No.
Yeah.
Honestly, right now, I've been looking on the internet. There's not a lot out there. It's either some other version of this current stock seat, or there's I forget what it's called, but it's the Harley-Davidson step up. Not a lot of options.
You know that more than likely you want a step-up seat, right?
all right, guys, so we are brainstorming something that would be really, really cool on the Nightster, which is
How often do you lose keys? Now you can't gas up your Nightster. So
If you guys don't know, the Nightster seat is hinged
you take a.
and the gas tank is underneath the seat. You have to open it with a key to get to the gas cap.
Which is good because it keeps all that liquid weight down here and centered and low instead of up here, causing more instability of the bike, making it more top heavy. So you add this in, put it down here, but then it does create some other problems, right? Now we have a split seat,
We have a split seat.
or you got to make it out of one, but then you have, how do we stabilize the rear here?
Yep.
If you lose your key,
You lose your key, you're smoked. You're stuck on the side of the road.
you are, yeah. If
You're completely stuck on the side of the road
just to get gas.
just to get gas.
I think that's something we were going to do too. We're going to eliminate this key.
We're gonna figure out how to
But
eliminate it.
I think we'll come up with a way for you guys to be able to also have this as well.
absolutely
That'll be the biggest thing is like, this is a thing that I think anybody who has a Nightster could benefit from.
the Crooks Moto key delete.
Keyless, we're calling it gas tank keyless entry. I don't know.
We have a little bit of a thing that we need to figure out, which is obviously, so bars, suspension, rear suspension, foot pegs, and now we got to figure out, okay, seat. We know Cruzy's got a seat out there with Saddlemen.
But who else wants to make a seat for it?
Yeah, it just releases the little pop thing.
Well, the lock is right here, yeah. So that's the locking mechanism.
Yep. So it's just got to be a button instead of a.
Well, so there's got to be, you're turning that, and it's got to be engaging some sort of like cable that's
Yeah, it's a
pulling
cable
it.
for sure.
There is. It's from. Okay.
Oh, right here.
On the front.
Yep. This little cable. Yep, that's it right there. So that's the cable that's pulling the lock open.
Yeah, I mean, so right away, I could tell you now, if you want to get rid of the key, you could take these two screws out, gut this, go to the True Value, get one of them grommets in there, just the bushing ones, and pop, and stick in there, and then just pull open close. Like that would be like that'd be the poor man's
Yeah, because when
dollar true value.
when you're sitting on it, it's not coming up.
No.
Even if you put rubber in there and just something that this could hold around, like
Hashtag true value bike builds.
yeah, hashtag true value bike build
Also, hidden pocket underneath here. Just found that.
for the spare key, dude.
Hidden pocket.
Oh wait, you
couldn't
can't
get to it.
Get to it.
They put a random hidden pocket.
Well, hey, registration pocket, dude. Dude, put your registration. Oh, look, hey, it does have your adjustment.
Oh, suspension tool?
A suspension tool right there.
Oh, no way. How does that come out?
Dude, hidden goodies on your stock Nightster.
Hidden suspension tool?
Yeah, it's just a little plastic tab right there. There you go.
Ah, dude, spanner wrench.
You got the locking ring, and then the locking ring, and then the adjustment ring.
Nice.
Good spanner wrench. Nice.
So if you guys didn't know, and you have a Nightster, now you know how to adjust your suspension, aka flip your seat up. But all right, guys, we're pulling off these foot pegs.
Ah, see there's. Push that little tooth above the spring in. You'll feel it.
Oh, I see it.
So there's a little tooth.
Got it. Go. Got it.
Nice. Quick release, baby.
So
Cool thought, but really sharp.
So this slides in, and then this is on a spring, this little stick out piece.
Little tooth.
So you can see it. You can see it go down.
I wonder if we just bevel the edge of that ever so it's not sharp and it's a little roundy, if it'll be a lot easier to put in an
I'm
hour.
sure it will be.
But yeah, so
It'll
this
be easier to pull back.
this
out.
goes in, and all you got to do is compress that and pull it up
It
through.
gets
But it gets
stuck on the
caught.
spring.
It gets caught a couple times, so you have to kind of like just push that in and be quick about getting it past the points where it wants to stick.
Pull quick.
But that's new.
Yeah.
Quick release foot pegs.
Yeah, so you can push down the tab here to get it past this part, but then you still got to be able to push it down, pull it through. And so you may get stuck.
See, now it went in, but it won't come out because of that spring. So then you just push it in. Out
Boom.
she comes. New stuff. Haven't seen that before.
Dude, so let's put some foot pegs on this thing.
I'm gonna put the vertical cycle grippers with the customizable, what do they call these? The outside
Guards.
rails?
The guards.
The guards, customizable guards.
Yep, replaceable for stun guys, or in the event that you tip your bike over and scrape the guard up. You're not actually scraping your peg, you're just scraping the guard. So those come off, cheaply replacable.
And a
for
Steez
vertical
piece.
cycles, and they're extremely grippy.
These things are rad. Buy one of these and run it. They're sick.
Try beveling that, just seeing if that comes out.
Yeah, go for it.
And any easier?
We're already fabricating, dude.
Yes, sir.
We're already modifying. So we're gonna modify that little tab.
I don't want to go too much, I still want it to lock.
Yeah, so we just kind of took the hard edge off that little spring there.
Seems a little easier to make happen.
I just push it in that little hole right there, then from an angle like this, into the hole there, and lift up.
Boom.
That is so crazy easy.
Yep, that still locks right there like that.
Sweet.
So now let's try and take it out. Oh, man.
The hack. Let's go.
Back. Do be careful that you just want to take the sharp point off it there, not too far. This one is not too far, it's still grabbed, but the first time I pushed it through, did you see that? It came back out, so we want to make sure it's all the way through and that thing is fully spring tensioned out, but we may have taken this one just as a first time doing it just a tad further. On the next one, I'm going to just knock it down even lighter than that, and that should still give us a really good grip on there. But for a first time doing it, that was successful. That made it a heck of a lot easier, because that was a bitch to get off the first time.
Absolutely. Well, and especially if you're trying out a bunch of different pegs, or, you know, just even in the future.
Right on.
I mean, worst case, you just throw a bolt in there.
You can, yeah, you absolutely can throw a
You
bolt
just
in
you
there.
just take that thing out, throw a bolt in there so you can get to it later on.
Yeah.
Now it's
This is positioned for forwards for the passenger.
Yeah. This is the pillion forwards here. Pillion forwards, brother. Oh, that's if you want to get stunty with it, dude. So if you guys haven't seen these pegs before, super customizable. Obviously the guards, obviously the bolt here for location.
oh, I gotta move that.
Nice.
There we go.
Dude, where to put the jack? Dude, Josh, where do we put this thing? I mean, is this plastic?
I would assume so.
Yeah, it's definitely not a cast.
Yeah, just put it on the pan of the bike, of the motor.
And shoot. Try if you want to do.
We can just put it lightly.
The next few months, we want to try this. Probably wouldn't worry about the hub. Again, factory says it should be fine until 1,000 miles, you know, when that service gets done. So if you can get it to where you're not, you know, it's all good just with free play and you're riding it, leave it and then do the full 1K, you know, or else, because we could do it, we could figure out how to do it and do it now, the cable, but then by 1,000.
I'm not worried about it right now.
You're gonna have to do it again at 1,000.
Well, and that's got
To adjust this, you have to pull this up and you have to take the tank off to adjust this to be able to get to everything.
to get to.
Yeah, because I just watched a video last night
adjuster right
where
there.
Cruzy had
Oh,
to
now
do
remember.
that, and he had to pull this off.
Remember, if you were gonna be factual, this is your gas tank.
Yeah,
This is your airbox cover.
Well, technically, it's the airbox cover. 'Cause
airbox cover.
I guess the airbox, and this is the airbox cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, so one thing that we're definitely going to try to figure out on this Nightster, obviously bars, risers, in terms of, you know, controls and whatnot.
Which is, we need to get rid of these stupid bar end mirrors. These mirrors gotta go.
They will go, for sure.
They're gonna go.
Issue is that there's no traditional mounting because of the whole Brembo setup. Doesn't come with it. So it's going to have to be some sort of a clamp on.
Clamp on, a different perch setup.
So we'll probably come up with some sort of a clamp that's universal for you to be able to run any of your standard
Harley mirrors.
drop down. I forget the size, but
Yeah.
the standard
Just
Harley.
your traditional Harley mirrors that have been on bikes forever.
But it'll have to be a clamp on, which is okay with me because you have this super nice Brembo setup here, which you obviously want to keep. So you just have to get a little creative, and I think that's cool. It's an opportunity for all of us.
Dude, another thing I think for sure is once we figure out bar, riser, all that, definitely getting these freaking wires internally routed would clean up this whole thing as well, which I think will be pretty. We'll just have these wires merge between here and the control wires. So that's our entry point into the bar right there, is we'll have a little bit of wires sticking out, just boom and boom, but notch it up in that bottom part of the bar and just run it in down through the risers, clean up that whole stuff. Just like old Sporties, dude. They're just, you know, just the little plastic clips that are holding the wires to it.
Things.
So definitely cleaning that up is going to make this whole scenario look a lot better on the Nightster. I can't believe how cool this fairing would look on this. You know, sick risers, gauge pod, sick, you know, kind of bar setup.
It'll look a little better even once we get the new suspension on the front here. The componentry's bigger.
Yeah.
So it won't look like this little componentry with this big
With a
fairing
big
thing on
fairing,
there.
yeah.
It'll match up really well.
No, it'll fit the front end so much better. And another thing,
Step one, we got some foot pegs on.
dude,
Priority number one, you gotta at least change the foot pegs. No effort, just bolt them on, and hell yeah, I did.
dude, yeah, show them this.
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna want to run some pannier bags on here of some sort. So we're gonna have to delete or shrink these. So thinking about running a integrated light system on the license plate frame, and then it just goes onto here, and on this bike it just fits absolutely perfectly right back here.
Absolutely perfect. All we got to do is run some holes right there in the fender, wire these out for brake and turn.
That's when you get the super cool double wide 2 of the CROOKS MOTO bar bags side by side, sewn together, 4 of them with a throw over that sit right here, and you got CROOKS MOTO freaking
Pannier bags, dude.
Coming soon, maybe, or not. 2026.
Anybody wants to invest on the entry of that project, then
Let us know. Let's see these pegs, dude. How the pegs feel.
oh, they feel great.
Dude, we got the shifter one on. Dude, look at that.
Dude, you're ready to rock, man. Day one, that's a sick little upgrade. Super easy to throw something like that on.
And we want to let you guys know that these are currently available. So links in the description. We're going to get you links to all these different products as they come out, or stuff that we're going to be putting on this bike.
We're gonna take this gauge off and see if it fits.
We're gonna verify that the digital version, not the analog one we've played with, we want to just verify that our measurements with vertical cycles fits this digital one for a bolt-in riser gauge pod application.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
And if it doesn't, then we know what we need to change.
So you got a little clip back there, nice.
Don't do that unless you have strong fingernails.
Yeah, you're gonna break your fingernails if you do that. But that's pretty nice, just one little clip, boom, it's off.
That's top clamp.
No like trip button that you have to worry about.
Definitely user friendly, that's for sure.
It's way bigger.
Yeah, because we measured it, it's like
4 inches.
like basically 4.
From outside to outside. I don't know about the internals.
Yeah, doesn't fit.
Well, and that gauge is just so, it's not very deep. I mean, well, I guess it's about that deep.
Nice gauge though, dude.
It's a very nice gauge.
Looks like an iPhone, dude.
Yeah, it does. It looks really good.
And it's actually It's got some good color on it too, which that's one thing that I felt like the Pan America, if you've seen the Pan America gauge, the colors on it, they don't pop. They're kind of dull. And I get that it's kind of like this adventure thing, but
That gauge pod looks really, really good. The vibrancy of the colors.
also, if you guys have made it this far in the video and you haven't liked the video, dropped a comment, said what's up, whether you like Nightsters, you hate Nightsters, you're excited, you're not excited, whatever you got to say, drop it in the comments. Be sure to follow Vertical Cycles, American Suspension Racing, as well as RJ's Custom Cycles, all on Instagram. Follow CROOKS MOTO on Instagram. Do all the things. Follow all the stuff. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff. So even if you're just curious, maybe you would never buy a Nightster, but you're curious on what we're going to do with it, can we make it look cool? Can we change your mind about this bike?
Oh, we will.
Yeah, that's my point.
It's gonna be.
Can we change your mind about what you think about this Nightster? I'm convinced we can change my mind. I'm a sort of a Rev Max hater right now. I don't think they look cool. I don't think they sound great. They do ride pretty good though. The Nightster rides really good. Stock bike.
Once you put a pipe on them, they sound much better.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I need to see it and hear it in person and feel it on the road. It'll probably change my mind.
I heard the S&S, that other bike that I was looking at had one on it already.
Okay.
It sounded pretty good.
Okay.
Did it sound like what other ones that I've heard on the internet? I don't know. It sounded better than stock. That's for, because that stock, it sounds like a sewing machine.
I mean, yeah, it's your typical just current gen Harley.
Even worse.
EPA compliant and worse.
Even worse.
Yeah. But yeah, be sure to subscribe to the channel, guys, if you have not already. The Vertical Cycle gas cap, dude. Can't see it, but it's there.
Oh, that's the gem when you open it, dude.
All right, guys, so we are ending the video here. So as you guys saw, we went through and went over all the different ideas and products, American Suspension Racing, Vertical Cycle products. We're gonna be doing all this work here at RJ's Custom Cycles.
Super stoked to be doing it, man.
So thank you guys for tuning in. Josh, you got a Nightster, bud.
Nightster, man. He's a Nightster boy.
This is the Nightster boy, dude.
I'm so excited. Blessed.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to drop a subscribe, like the video.
Follow us
like
at RJ's Custom Cycles, at Vertical Cycles, American Suspension Racing, American Suspension, CROOKS MOTO, all of our network of collaborators.
See you guys on the next one.